welcome to week 5. If you get a chance this week, please send me a page or message, and I'd like to meet you in AC. All I want to do is set up audio and show you what AC is all about. At the end of October, I'm going to ask everyone to meet me at different times so that I can go over your independent project that you work on during the month of November. And it saves a lot of time if we have the audio set up, and it gives me a chance to see if you have any questions. I promise it won't take more than 5 minutes, but just make sure you page me before you go to AC so that I can open up the session. So this week you have a journal entry, number 4, and you have to talk about your safety online. So there's a few things I want you to consider. How do you know if a site is safe to visit? What are some strategies that you have in place? What are some things that you look for that would indicate perhaps that it's not a safe website to use? The other part of that is, and one that students often overlook, is the content piece. How do you know that information that you are looking at is trustworthy? How do you know it's not fake news? How do you know it's not something that someone has just put out there maliciously? So what are some strategies that you use to know that the content that you're researching for your history class or media studies or whatever else that you're using it for, that it's actually 100% true?
So here's your outline for Journal 4. Please make sure that you have 250 words, I do count, and run your spell check before you submit it. That's easy fixes to make sure you don't lose points. The other thing I want to mention is that the checklist, as it stands, your first Dropbox closure is coming up real soon. It's next Friday, October 13th, and you have to have assignments from weeks 1 through 4 submitted by that time. So if you're looking at your checklist, your scavenger hunt and student information sheet, well, those have to be done before you can even get in the course. So what has to be done is your copyright assignment. Your discussion 1 is due at that time, though it does not close, so that is ongoing. But make sure you have 3 entries for each discussion group. So you have your initial post and then you respond to 2. I don't usually mark them until you have 3 in the discussion pieces completed. You need to finish Journal 1. Let's look at week 3. You need to finish Journal 2. You should have a good start on discussion 2. And you have to have Journal 3 finished. Those are the assignments that you have to have done by October 13th. If they're already in, that doesn't mean, you're done, you can sit back. I suggest you keep moving, because as the weeks progress, you're going to have more and more content. And at the end of October, 1st of November, I'm going to have a meeting with you to go over your independent project, and then you have 4 weeks to work on that. So just try to keep with the pace. The checklist is just to give you, make the pace of the class manageable. If you're not up to where the checklist is, it doesn't mean you need to panic, but just try to keep as close to the checklist as possible, and that will make this class feel not so overwhelming by times. So if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I hope you have a great week.